This document isn't about fear, it's about arming the public. Introduction. The truth they don't want you to see. This playbook is for every mother, every whistleblower, every person who ever questioned why the help feels like harm. Armed with knowledge and the drive to keep your head on straight, your soul intact, your integrity, and your children's survival is possible. You just have to remember, the enemy is often the one claiming to be your savior. Like Reagan said, if a government says they are here to help, they are lying. They have patterns, predictable tactics, coordinated responses. If you push back, they escalate. If you speak up, they retaliate. Understanding how they operate is your greatest defense. 1. The setup targeted surveillance. You get flagged maybe by calling DCF, filing a complaint, or refusing to cooperate with questionable authority. They begin watching. This could include caseworkers, shelter staff, or school officials. Some call it soft surveillance. Others know it as the beginning of gang stalking, where systems unofficially coordinate to isolate, monitor, and destabilize. Paper trail fabrication. Reports are altered, facts are twisted, and statements you never made appear in your file. Even innocent behaviors get labeled as concerning. Shelter manipulation. You retransferred repeatedly or placed in unsafe or overcrowded conditions meant to wear you down. Dangerous roommates, curfews, or threatening environments are part of the psychological war. No contact orders and service delays. You're denied access to advocates, legal help, or even your own documentation. Shelter staff begin losing paperwork or claim you missed meetings you never knew about. Character assassination, allegations of mental illness, substance abuse, or non-compliance begin appearing in your case file, even if untrue. These labels are nearly impossible to fight once they stick. Agency-wide blackballing. Workers talk, referrals dry up. Providers deny you service because you're difficult. Your name is shared among staff behind closed doors, and your reputation becomes a weapon. Evictions or removals timed for max damage. Re-dragged into housing court or family court, often without proper notice. When you're sick, out of town, or scheduled to be somewhere important. Abuse of emergency powers. They claim risk to children or public safety to override due process. This can include surprise DCF visits, police wellness checks, or last-minute court filings. 5. The final blow, coordinated abandonment. Mass health cuts your benefits. Housing denies recertification. DCF labels you uncooperative. You're left without support and blamed for your own downfall. Even your storage unit may be cleaned out, your documents trashed, and your future locked in a system you can't escape. This isn't theoretical. It's happened to hundreds, if not thousands of women, mothers, whistleblowers, and survivors. In this playbook, I'll break down each tactic with real-world examples and show you how to fight back. Chapter 2. Know their language, know their lies. When systems seek to control, they don't just use power, they use language. Words become weapons. Labels become cages. And if you don't know how to decode their language, you're already losing the battle. Projection is when they accuse you of what they themselves are doing. Deflection is when they shift focus to anything but accountability. You say, "This placement is unsafe." They respond, "You're mentally unstable and overreacting." You document abuse. They say, "She's hostile, non-compliant, and has a history of instability." You raise concerns about your child's health or safety. They label you overly involved, manipulative, coaching the child, or alienating the other parent. This isn't random. It's a tactic to destroy your credibility and shift blame. Once your name is tied to words like volatile, non-compliant, or unstable, you're no longer viewed as a parent or a professional. You're just another frequent flyer. Code words you need to know. Services refused equals you asked questions or wanted clarity before signing anything. Non-compliant equals you didn't agree to their demands without hesitation. Parental alienation equals you protected your child from abuse and they didn't like it. History of instability equals you fled violence, became homeless, or spoke up too many times. At risk or unfit equals their catch-all excuse to override your rights. Family preservation equals a buzzword used even as they actively destroy families. These terms appear in case notes, hearings, and reports, and they follow you across agencies. Once applied, they don't come off. Chapter 3. The Whistleblower's Curse. Retaliation by design. Whistleblowers aren't just ignored, they are punished. Systems are designed to protect themselves, not those who expose their failures. Retaliation is baked into every layer. Unseen eyes. After you expose wrongdoing, Expect surveillance, not just from agencies, but often including local law enforcement, shelter staff, neighbors, and even private individuals hired to intimidate. This is gang stalking. Social media stalking. Your digital life is monitored and weaponized. They track your posts, contacts, and whereabouts to catch you off guard. Psychological warfare, threats, gaslighting, rumors, and spreading lies are intended to isolate you from allies and break your spirit. Fabricated violations. Expect sudden, baseless claims of rule violations used as grounds for eviction or child removal. Court manipulation. Cases get scheduled when you're unable to attend. Evidence is withheld, ignored, or fabricated. Judges may be biased or uninformed about your full story. Denied services. After speaking out, shelter staff, attorneys, and advocates may refuse to help or purposely delay aid. Documentation destruction. Files, evidence, and records crucial to your defense may go missing or be altered. The trauma of retaliation. Retaliation breaks down not just your life, but your mental health, relationships, and hope. Many survivors face PTSD, depression, and isolation. Yet despite this, exposing corruption remains essential. This chapter will show you how to prepare, protect, and persevere. Chapter 4. Protecting yourself. The survival strategy knowledge alone isn't enough. You need tactics. Document everything. Keep a daily journal. Dates, times, names, conversations. Secure copies of every document, letter, email, and text. Scan and back up digitally and offline. Record incidents discreetly if safe and legal. Build your network. Identify trustworthy advocates, legal aid, and community allies. Avoid isolation. Share your story carefully but widely. Know your rights. Study local and federal laws related to housing, child welfare, and civil rights. Demand copies of your case files regularly. Use formal complaints strategically. Always keep a paper trail. Self-care is resistance. Prioritize mental health resources, even online or peer-led groups. Practice grounding techniques and build routines. Recognize trauma responses. Seek help when possible. Chapter 5. Reclaiming power. Taking back control. You are not powerless. Change starts with you. Use anonymous platforms and advocacy groups to share your story. Contact investigative journalists, watchdog organizations, and elected officials. Participate in community meetings and public forums. This system is broken, designed not to protect, but to control, silence, and destroy. But knowledge is power. Awareness is a weapon. Together, survivors, advocates, and communities can expose the corruption, support each other, and reclaim justice. If you are reading this, you are not alone. Stand firm. Keep fighting. Anchor up.